coming on this day of all days. I am, of course, your friend, Miss Anne Pratt. Or rather, I was Miss Anne Pratt before we went in to Christ Church just here in Luton in Chatham earlier. And now I am Mrs. John Peerless. My dear friend, I shall greet you with a curtsy. Do you know, it's a very useful way to greet people when one does not wish to lay hands upon them. Ladies, you drop your eyes and bend your knees. There is no need to do anything very complicated with your feet, because after all, in this year of 1866, we are all wearing wide crinolines that hide whatever our legs are doing. But a bob up and down with a modest lowering and then raising of the eyes does the trick. For gentlemen, it is of course the bow. Very smart, quite Teutonic, like Prince Albert for this year of 1866. Smartly down, smartly up, but gentlemen, do remember to break your eye contact and then connect once more. Now I know I am no spring chicken. This marriage has been conducted very late in life. Why, I was born, you know, in 1806, when old King George III was still upon the throne and before he'd even gone mad. However, Mr. Peerless and I have been friends for quite some time, and that friendship has grown into something deeper, and the companionship that will last for the rest of our lives. I will let you work out entirely how old I am. I met Mr. Peerless and we both had an interest in, well, you know what he is, apart from being a gentleman, of course, with money from a farm that he inherited. He is also a chemist. We have a great interest in the chemical processes that make colours so vibrant for my book. 3 days before our wedding, I purchased, with the use of a mortgage, for it was more money than I could do out of my own funds, a wedding present for Mr. Peerless. A chemical factory. It's in the north of the country, near Wigan. Whether we shall ever make the journey to see it, I do not know. But how fascinating that we now are able to have ownership of part of the process of producing the colours, the inks, for my books. Of course, this year of 1866 has seen the production of this colour that ties up my bouquet, the bright purple aniline dye. I'm told it lasts longer, does not come out in the wash, nor does not fade in the sunlight, unlike many other darker colours we've ever had before. This is a marvellous matter of progress in this revolution of industry. I think the last time we met I said we would take a walk together, and perhaps we should do that now, for we have some moments before the wedding breakfast. Let us go perhaps 800 metres, I believe the French would call it, or 4 furlongs, we call it, southwest of this lich gate here at Christ Church in Luton, to see the windmill. It's only fairly recent, 1857 I believe it was constructed, and we might be able to see where everyone from miles around gets their flour. Something terrible has happened, extremely strange. I do see behind me now, where should be the old mill, there's something called the Tramways Community Centre. Obviously I've drunk too much wine on this, my wedding day, but this is very strange, because I swear this is where the mill was last. And why is it called Tramways? A tram, I believe, is some sort of vehicle. I could hear other vehicles going past as well. Perhaps you want to have a look at back. In fact, oh my goodness, something terrible over there. And oh, what? That's not the church as I knew it. It's something completely different. Can you see? Where's the old spire gone? Instead, we have a modern building that looks most strange. I think the lich gate is still there, hidden among the trees, but look at this traffic, these horseless carriages that are going past. This isn't the fields and undulating greenery of Luton that I knew before. and chickens? Oh, this is not the hen and chickens that I knew. Indeed, it has been a public house since 100 years before I was born. And it looks a similar shape, but what's happened to it? Right behind those trees, that's where the old Luton bathhouse was. Now, there seems to be nothing there except the railway arch. The railway! In 1866, this was still in its infancy. I know that plans were afoot to extend the London, Chatham and Dover line, but nothing had been put to fruition like this. And this traffic, these horseless carriages that are ever going round and round and round this roundabout, it's making me feel quite dizzy. Charcoals with me now, that I could make a record of all that I am seeing in this exciting modern age. Do you know, I think of so many changes that I'm seeing, not only now, but through my full life in the Victorian period. I saw illness in the inside only of Eastgate House in Rochester, and then I took a great interest in the study of botany and the flowers and looking at the minute details of the petals. And then it was my illustrations, and I became passionate about those. And then, as I grew stronger, I was able to move to Brixton in South London, and then return to visit here, my sister in Luton in Chatham, and then go and live in Dover for a while and write my books of the seaside and the coastal plants. And now, I have changed again. Change is all around us. I'm no longer simply Miss Anne Pratt. I am Mrs. John Peerless. And perhaps I will not do so many illustrations as I used to. Perhaps I will now concentrate on my role of wife and the interest that I have now in developing the lot of the workers and helping the poor. There's so many changes, and all the buildings that I can see now that are so different to the ones I knew way back when can change again. We're in a time of change. I ask you now to look with me at the full expanse of the Medway Towns, starting here from Luton, and think of all the changes that may be yet to come. What changes would you like to see?